look, he says.
He would always pretend to be David fighting Goliath. One day we had the service
all of us. So brothers and sisters, I think what we need to really consider before starting the tour here is that David, he actually comes here after he ruled as king in Hebron. He was king in Hebron for about 7 years. And actually, we might as well read it. I think it's in 2 Samuel chapter 5. There was some kind of civil war going on between the house of David and the house of Saul. And Abner ben Ner, he was the guy that was supporting the house of Saul, Mephibosheth. But eventually, some stuff happens, and the people say to David that we don't have time for the civil war now. We need to come together. There's an enemy getting stronger, and that would have been the Philistines.
2 Samuel?
Yeah, chapter 5. And now we just have to be as one people. And you've always taken us back and forth into war, so they all sent some delegations to Hebron. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou wast he that leadest out and brought us in Israel. And the Lord said unto thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to David to Hebron. And King David made a league with them. That is, he made a covenant with them in Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel. So this is revolutionary, brothers and sisters. This is when they come and make a covenant with David in Hebron. They say, we will be your people, you will be our king. But they make it before the Lord. And that's it's like a statement. Remember, there is a king over you as well, that you will have to answer to as well. And this is what would inspire, give power to the prophets to later on and even condemn kings and when they had to, including King David, by the way. Up until then, if it was the empires in Mesopotamia or even Egypt, the king, the leader, was most likely a man who fought his way up to the top, and he was able to sustain his place with the sword and submit everybody else and make everybody listen to him. And what they did to make this system work, the man, the king, the leader, he was considered to be the God on earth. They would have to come and sacrifice to him and praise him as a king and as God. He was the representative of the gods. And I think this is very important, that over here they come and make David king, but they do this before the Lord. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 40 years. And Hebron reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem to the Jebusites, inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking David cannot come in. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same is the city of David. So the first thing that David does as king of all of Israel, he comes and he captures this Jebusite city and he turns it into his capital. The first thing, his first action of king of all of Israel is to capture this city. So there's all kinds of theories why he did it. And some say he wanted the water system. Others say he wanted the safety of the walls. Others say that he wanted to unite all the tribes by... You see, it would have been only too easy for him to make Hebron the capital. All of his homies were there. That's where he was from, the tribe of Judah. But no, he actually chooses Jerusalem because it was a Jebusite city, and by doing so, none of the tribes could say, oh, the capital is in my land. But I think the truth of the matter is that he wanted to connect to what God had Abraham do with the sacrifice of the son here on this Mount Moriah. Inasmuch that we know that he wanted to build God's house on Mount Moriah, but God would not allow him to do it. Only his son Solomon would eventually build God's house, and he could only get the preparations done. That very rock where the bounding of Isaac would become later on the Holy of Holies in Solomon's temple, and then later on in the second temple. So I think that's why he came here, to get close to that mountain. So let's go